What's good, man? Let's get into it. This is an NBA free agency recap on today. A lot of big news has happened. Any other reports or news that happens throughout the rest of Friday, Saturday, will be covered on my Sunday podcast, the Unfiltered Sports Podcast, the best podcast on YouTube talking sports. But this is just a little video to hold you guys over until then. So let's get into it. I'm actually going to share my screen this time. Some of these things we talked about last Sunday. Prime example, get rid of this. What's the name? So the Hawks got Luke Cornett, which is not a bad thing. They got Alexander Walker to a 4-year deal, and we talked about Porzingis and stuff like that. And they lost Clint Capella and stuff. Well, we're gonna get into that. Boston, we talked about Boston and who they lost and stuff like that. The Brooklyn Nets re-signed Day'Ron Sharpe and Zaire Williamson, and they lost Terrence Mann and Michael Porter Jr. No, they got Michael Porter Jr. They got Michael Porter Jr. and they got Terrence Mann as well too, which nothing there. They lost D'Angelo Russell, good for them. They lost Cam Jordan to the Nuggets, and is what it is there. The Hawks, who are literally not. Well, they re-signed Mason Plumlee. Well, they signed Mason Plumlee, and they got Kyle Sexton. Okay, bet. About time they started trying to build around LaMelo. Dang. They got a center now. They got Spencer Dinwiddie. They got Pat Covington, whatever his name is. And okay, finally, they're about to start making some moves around Lonzo. About time. The Bulls, they re-signed Trey Jones to a 3-year deal. They got Isaiah Kulik, and they traded with LaMelo. They traded Lonzo to the Cleveland Cavaliers as they pop up, and Cleveland they re-signed Sam Marinell and Larry Nance Jr. The Dallas Mavericks re-signed Kyrie Irving, and they get D'Angelo Russell. Okay, here's something we could talk about. Why are you signing D'Angelo Russell? Why is D'Angelo Russell still getting opportunities? D'Angelo Russell needs to be one of those guys on a team where it's like, oh yeah, you remember D'Angelo Russell? He was a good player for this obscure team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to be one of those players. He needs to be like a Gilbert Arenas, where like Gilbert Arenas is like, yeah, he was a decent player, but he didn't win anything. He went to a couple first round and didn't do anything. Why are the Mavericks? I mean, I know Kyrie's injured. You need someone to run point. I would have signed CP3 at this point. If I want to have Cooper Flag learn under anybody, I want him to learn under CP3, not D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell's a clown. You feel me? The Nuggets got Cam Johnson, which is a very lateral move. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. and Jonas Valanciunas to come off the bench, and they got Bruce Brown. Decent moves. You got a good backup to Joker. You got someone to replace that bench time for KCP and Michael Porter. You got Cam Johnson to fill in that void for Michael Porter Jr. and Bruce Brown. Not a bad move. It's just they have no what's the name? Coach. The additions, Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson to the Pistons, pretty decent. I mean, they were replacing their other role players like Dennis Schroeder and Tim Hardaway, so I guess it's a plus. Golden State Warriors haven't done anything, but we're going to talk about that after. Okay, Houston Rockets re-sign Steven Adams, get Jeff Green, get Aaron Holiday, they extend Jabari Smith Jr., and they get Fred VanVleet back for a 2-year deal, and they get Clint Capella, Dorian Finney-Smith, and we all know about the KD thing. The Rockets literally have Sengun, Steven Adams, and Clint Capella all in their starting in their center starting rotation. That's tough. That is tough. You know what I'm saying? Indiana Pacers, they lost Miles Turner to the Bucks. We'll get more about that when we get to the Bucks. Clippers re-signed James Harden and Nick Batum, and they get Brook Lopez. I guess tell me, don't they have Zubik? What's his name? Zubac, whatever his name is. So I guess he walked. No, he didn't walk because it said the partials right here. So I guess, man, that's a good lineup. I'm not gonna lie. The Lakers get DeAndre Ayton, which is a big story. Listen, Laker fans, I'm sorry to tell you this. DeAndre Ayton's barely a big man. He's barely a basketball player. So this is not really a big move. And the guy's like, what, 6'8", 6'9"? He's going to get bodied by Joker and Chet Holmgren and Wembanyama in the offseason next year. I mean, in the season next year. So it is what it is. The Nuggets. Memphis Grizzlies re-signed Jared Jackson Jr. to a 5-year deal, which Jared Jackson is good, but is he worth 5 years and the amount of money that I saw? No. They get Cole Anthony, KCP, and Ty Jerome. Not bad moves for the bench. The Miami Heat don't do absolutely nothing like they always do. Milwaukee Bucks get Miles Turner on a 4-year deal. Miles Turner is a top 10 center. I don't know why they would get him and waste that money, because at the end of the day, Giannis is leaving, and they waived Damian Lillard, which is one of the the Bucks getting rid of Damian Lillard is beyond stupid and dumb. Not for the simple fact they want to move on, but the simple fact that this guy literally came back from a blood clot, tried to help you, and you cut him like he's a piece of meat. And everybody's gonna be like, oh, well, he's still getting paid. I don't care. When Dame comes back from his injury, if and when he comes back, he's gonna get lowballed in the market. You could have literally kept him, paid him his money, which you're still gonna be doing, and then trade him to a team that wants him. So he at least has a team to land with and to prove himself with, so he can get a contract, a la what the Bulls did with Lonzo. But this is the Milwaukee Bucks. They're a bunch of clowns and idiots. So, it is what it is. The Minnesota Timberwolves do nothing. You feel me? Absolutely nothing. Just resign a bunch of players. The Pelicans get Looney and Jordan Poole. The reuniting of the Golden State players, is what it is there. My Knicks get Jordan Clarkson. Good deal to come off the bench. And I'm not even going to pronounce this guy's name. But, good deal for that. OKC don't have to do anything, to be honest with you. Orlando, I talked about Desmond Dane and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. The Philadelphia 76ers really can't do anything because, they have no money. The Suns don't do anything, to be honest with you. Sacramento Kings get Dennis Schroeder. Good deal, I guess. Don't care. Luke Cornett signs a 4-year deal. Good backup plan. You get a veteran and you also get a backup to Wemby. Very good. I like that. Raptors do nothing. Utah get Jurkovic, who cares. The Wizards get CJ McCollum, Kelly Oubre, and Dylan Jones, and still going to proceed to do nothing. And that's it. And also, there's also going to be a 7-man trade, which we're going to talk about that. I don't know how true it is, but a 7-team trade for people. But, it is what it is. That's our thought. That's my thoughts. What are yours? RJ out.